everyone, it's Leilani. Welcome back to my channel. So today I wanted to give you a flip through of the second half of my 2023 Project Life album. So every year when I do Project Life, it always ends up in 2 albums. So I pretty much split the year down the middle, give or take, and I create 2 albums. So I already do have a flip through over here of all of my pages from the first half, and all of these are process videos, all of the Project Life spreads, so you can definitely find all of those. I'll put the playlist below, but I thought that I would give a flip through of the completed album today. So I know there's a lot of glare because this is a very pocketed album, so I'm going to try to hold everything up so that you can see stuff a little bit better. So here we go. So first off, we're starting with July. Actually, it's the last day of July, so mostly starting with August. So sometimes I'll do that if I have extra room. Typically in my first half, I will pack that one full more than the second half, because the second half just seems to have so much stuff going on with the holidays and trips and all of that. So I'll typically add a little bit more into that album if I can. So we're still having all these summer photos here. So just kind of typical days around the house. And I do have a flippy here of Will at the beach with his friends. Now, as far as products and things, if you want to check back at any of the process videos, I typically talk a little bit more into detail about products that I use and things like that. I won't really be getting into that in this flip through. I'll just kind of talk about my spreads and just chit chat in general. So moving on into August, I was able to see one of my old coworkers and close friends, Quincy, there, which was so awesome. And here I did the trick that I learned from Dearly D many moons ago, where I printed off a photo as a 6x8 whenever I kind of didn't have that many photos. So this week you can see that I really only have 3 main photos, along with these pictures of books that I was reading. So I just blew this one up to take up more space. I love the way that that turned out. It kind of showcased that large photo, which was definitely the most special photo there from the week. Also picking out paint colors, buying plants and other fun supplies at the probably Home Depot, which I love doing things like that with Will. It's so much fun. We had a lot of plans. We have not finished all of them yet, but we did start working on a few things around the house and on our porch and everything at that time. Here is a layout that I did talking about my parents going to Hawaii. So my parents were gone for like 2.5 weeks. So it was a very, very, very long time. Without them, I struggled mentally a lot, but they had a great trip. And so I have this layout here and also this one where I was documenting photos that they sent me. So I do love to add other people's photos into my album whenever I find it like appropriate. So I don't do it a ton, but clearly if my parents have something big going on, I will document that. Or if one of my friends have a big life event or something, I will totally document their photos as well. So that was really fun. And then within the next few weeks, I also would add a few pictures of my parents as well. So this was something that I really enjoyed. I would print off a 4x6 like landscape photo, and then I would add a smaller, maybe like 1.5 by 2 inch or so little photo inside of that to document my parents being on their trip. And then here I was mostly working on things at home, listening to books, running to Starbucks in the morning. I was pet sitting all of their animals, which included little Dumpy there. Here was another picture of my parents meeting up with my aunt and cousin, who were also in Hawaii at the same time, which was so cool. And me and Will got out and about and went to a baby shower. Just little things here and there. See, I did that again with the landscape photo and the picture of my mom and dad. And then, of course, just things around the house. This was August, but we were really working on the outside. We did a little porch cleanup, and that felt so good. And we got a grill, and we are like so waiting to bust that grill out again and to be able to grill here in the summer. It was so fun. Also, whenever like celebrities pass away who were important to me, I did pop in Bob Barker passing away there. Then moving on to week 35. So we're moving into the very beginning of September. My parents were finally home. So I popped in a little photo there and kind of talked about their travels home, and then mixed that in with mainly pictures of the animals because I was taking care of a lot of animals with Will's help, but I'm home all the time. So they have, a doggy who is staying with us, Mono. And then also between us, we have 8 outdoor kitties, mostly outdoor, who have just decided that they live here with us. So I had to take care of all of them as well. Another book club meeting there with my wonderful patrons. And then I love adding in like memes and things like that whenever they kind of represent what's going on with me. Moving on to week 36, more outdoor photos, really enjoying our porch at this point. Got to meet up with my wonderful friend Shelby there. Just like little pictures of the house and Poppy. And then I was doing a lot of prep for Camp BFF, which was on the horizon. So that's what that was down at the bottom. So love adding in little bits and pieces like that. Then one thing that I love doing in my 12 by 12 like yearly Project Life album is to add in other bits that happen. So here I added in the sticker sheet, the second sticker sheet that I had made with the BFF Sticker Club. So I added that right in. I just adhered 2 sticker sheets together and then added a piece of transparency to pop it in and punch the holes. So I love having those in here. And then I do have my own little photo of the stickers, which I also sometimes like to pop in and talk about. More just everyday photos, nothing much going on. Finishing up my albums that I always give to my bestie Casey every year. And then moving into the end of September here, me and Will went to a baseball game, which was so much fun. More Patreon Zooms. Here was my friend Casey's birthday, and I love adding text messages. So sometimes I'll just cut them right out of the screenshot if I don't want the full text screenshot. So here I just cut it out and added it on just about Casey's reaction to receiving the scrapbooks from me. Here was a little piece of real life ephemera. I ordered some vegan Doc Martin, so I included some of the tissue paper and then the little logo that came on them. So that was fun. Then I do, of course, still incorporate the 12 by 12 spread. So here was another one all about Camp BFF. So this was kind of the intro into camp. So I do have a couple photos here, a large 6 by 8 paired with a 3 by 4 there. And I loved this collection from Simple Stories that just, I think it was called Trail Mix, but it went so perfectly with camp. So that was so awesome. And then on the back, I decided to do a layout that incorporated a lot of photos. It looks like about 9 photos there of me with some of my friends, IRL, in real life, that I met up with at camp. So that was so fun. And then I do have the postcards that we sent out at camp, and I did send all 3 of them to myself, so I received those. And then here I have my actual Project Life spread for the week, which does include a couple pictures from camp, but then also like all of these were places that me and Will went together. So he did join me, although he had other plans while I was at camp, but we were able to eat at a couple fun vegan places. We ate at Gorilla Biscuits in Nashville, and then I think it was called like the 3 Carrots, I'm pretty sure, and I have it written in my journaling, but in Indiana, and this was a cupcake place that we went to in Indiana as well. So that was really fun. So I liked incorporating some of the things that I did with Will as well. And then of course, if I want to have a deep dive into that trip and see all of the photos and all of the memories, I do have a Life Crafted album of this trip. So this is just the part that I documented in my Project Life. Then if we keep going, we are now into October. So of course you're going to start to see all of the October things. Looks like we were having some like more fall weather, baking things, dressing Penny up, decorating, watching You've Got Mail, one of my favorite autumnal movies, seeing my bestie, all kinds of fun little things going on there. And then here I have another layout that includes my Halloween costume for the year, which was, of course, Scream, which Casey Becker, I believe, from Scream. So that was really fun. I love this layout. I was really into doing these with the small photos right in the middle, which was similar to the one that I did over here for camp. So I really loved that, using the Monster Mash collection from Echo Park, which is what I used for my October daily. So again, there's a deep dive into all of these in October daily, but I do still love documenting all the things in my project life no matter what. So here we were at the pumpkin patch, did a little easy layout there. And then I do have some cards here for my birthday, because my birthday's on the 10th. So then my birthday was celebrated during this week. So we were able to go to the pumpkin patch and make homemade soup for my birthday and little apple pies. We also went to a Grizzly game with Will's parents on my birthday, a preseason game, which was so fun when our team was still full of promise before all of the injuries and all the things that have occurred. Moving on into like mid-October, so all the things happening, carving pumpkins and dressing Penny up and doing all the things. I got to meet up with some of my besties down there at the bottom and just all of that. Looks like I'm using a lot of just random pieces from my stash. And here's where me and Will went on our trip to New York. So actually, if you do not recognize this layout, I originally did a New York layout using all 10 of these photos as a process video on my channel, and it included maybe a couple other layouts as well, but I ended up just not loving it. It was really dark. I did not love the colors that I chose. So the other morning I redid it. So I grabbed out just some papers out of my stash, and I did use all of the same 10 photos. I just printed them off a little bit smaller and redid this layout, and I love it so much more. So this is kind of the intro into our New York trip that me and Will went on at the end of October. So I have some of our favorite little New York moments there. And then on the back, this one I have the process video of, was when we went to Salem. So we also had a couple of days in Boston, Salem, and New York on that trip, which was phenomenal. And then here was the actual Project Life spread documenting those days as well. I love the way this spread came together. I just love all the pictures and the colors and all of that. So again, I have it documented here, but if I do want to take more of a deep dive into this trip, I have a 6x8 album that I worked on over on Patreon that I can always look at. Then moving on, we have the beginning of November. So this is an example of one of those big life moments that I documented in here that was not like my life or photos. That's my bestie, Casey, and they announced that they were having another baby girl. So of course I wanted to document that. We also have the passing of Matthew Perry at the bottom, which was very sad. All of us Friends, Chandler fans were definitely very devastated by that. And then we have moving into the holiday season a little bit with the Starbucks cups, with Target putting out their $3 ornaments, all that kind of good stuff that I love seeing during the season. And then as we move on into November, I was doing a lot of work on the house. I painted a couple walls in the living room and put together a couple shelves, and it was just really fun doing a bit of a refresh on our living room. I also was able to see one of my besties, Rachel, who I'd missed so much. So that was just lovely getting to catch up with her there. And then moving on, it starts to be like the holiday season. So I got my tree up, and this is another one of those weeks where not a ton was going on. So you can see I printed that off as a 6x8, excuse me. I do have this cute little meme at the bottom when it's dark at 5 p.m. Because of course it starts to be that time of year as well. Now, even though I only have a few photos here, I didn't want to be super repetitive with my home photos. So I added in a little flip here, like a simple stories flip, so I could put the other pictures of the house with all the Christmas decor behind the little flippy there, which I enjoy. Now, here was another thing that I did off camera. So we got family photos taken this year, and I never did any layouts. So a couple of days ago, before I wanted to do this flip through for you guys, I wanted everything to be completed. So I redid that New York layout, and then I also printed off my photos and did a couple layouts here off camera. So I wanted to print off any photos, like I did these layouts, and then whichever photos I had left over that I still loved but didn't make it into the layouts, I printed off as 6x8s. So sometimes I will do that as well. So a picture of me and my mom, a picture of me, Will, and Penny, another picture of me and Will, and then lastly, a picture of me and my dad. So I just have those documented here, and then they just kind of float right in the album, which I really love doing from time to time. If I just have extra photos, I'll definitely just print them off. Now, this one was really nice too, because I had done this cut file a little bit before Christmas, but I never used it in my December daily. So I was able to use it here, and it made doing this layout so simple. Grabbed a white piece of cardstock, already had the cut file completed. Then I just printed off one of my favorite photos of my fam there and popped it in the middle as a little wreath, and then just decorated it, added a little bit of journaling and things at the bottom, and we were good to go. And then another really simple layout, I just used a few scrap pieces in the background, and then I had one entire sheet of the tag page, so I just cut off the tops of tags, and then I printed off 6 3x4 photos there and just added on a few of my other favorite photos from our little photo shoot. So that was really cool, and then added those right into my album. And then moving right along, we have Thanksgiving, one of my favorite days of the year. And I love the way that this spread turned out. I went into my stash for this one, but I ended up finding some perfect photos, including this one with all of the like cooking gear. This one that actually says Thanksgiving details. And I was like, oh my gosh, that's perfect. I pulled out my little stamp set. This one says step 1, open mouth. Step 2, insert pie, which is a really old one from Paper Person. So those were really fun. And then also behind this photo, I did, I did a little flip because we went to a Grizzly game, but those photos didn't quite match. So I just added it separately. And then as you move on, we're getting into December. So this is actually the week that we took the family photos, but I thought they looked better in my album over here. Then just like pictures of the animals. I had cute pictures of all 3 of my little babies there. And also we had a book club Zoom for Patreon, just all kinds of fun things. Moving into me and my mom going to Disney. So these were Ellie's studio process videos. So I do have a video over here working on these. So these were just a few, like the opening coming into going to Disney with my mom. So I have this layout here, which I really love. And then also one on the back with a few other 3x4 photos. So just super, super fun there. And then again, just like the other trips, you move into this one, which is the week that was really documenting everything that we did in Disney. But again, I don't have this as its own album by itself, but I do have a 12x12 Disney album that I actually worked on over on Patreon last month. That's like an ongoing album where I document all of my Disney trips in there. So this one is in there. So it's in a little more detail in that album as well. Then moving on, we're knee deep into December at this point. So again, I do have all of these things documented in way more detail in my December daily. But for me, they're just 2 totally different projects. So if I want to grab Project Life, I want to look at everything from the year. The tiny, tiny daily details to the big things like anniversaries, trips, holidays, all of the above. And then if I want to take a deep dive into a trip or into a holiday that was really special to me, I can go look at that album specifically. But I definitely love having everything in my Project Life. This is kind of my full year documented. So here I have a lot of fun little things that were going on around the holidays, crafty days with my friend Rachel, going out to see the Trans-Siberian Orchestra with my family, another just fun Christmas night with a few of my friends. And then here I was on the BFF Live. So of course I had to document that. Then again, here I have all my Christmas cards, so I popped those in. And then over here, I have my last spread, which includes a few of the other things that I did for Christmas time. And I do have a flippy here, which includes a few other photos of Poppy and taking her to go see the Christmas lights. And then on the back, we have the very last spread that includes Christmas in all of its glory, along with another flip out that includes the second Christmas that me and Will went to with his side of the family. So all kinds of fun stuff, and it just feels so good to have it all completed. Absolutely love Project Life and going back and finishing up those few spreads and just looking back on my Project Life album for the year and the pages that I've worked on so far for this year, it's just such a special and rewarding project. And it's definitely, I would have to say, my all-time fave, very, very close second with December Daily. But I just absolutely love Project Life. I love being able to just look through an entire year's worth of memories just from those everyday, just simple moments at home, which I love that Project Life encourages you to document along with the bigger ones, like the trips and all the fun stuff. But I love just those little moments, and it's so fun to look back and see those small moments around your home or in your yard, or how your house looked, or how your schedule was. And it just brings me so much joy. So I love sharing Project Life over here with you guys, and I will continue to do that, hopefully forever. But I hope that you enjoyed this flip through. If you did, please give me a like, and please also consider subscribing. And of course, I'll be back at you super soon. Have a great day, y'all. Bye.